seed. They have the #1 overall pick and 5 picks within the first 65 picks of the draft. So the biggest question is, what should they do at the top of the board?
Right, and they have a lot of cap room.
Look,
let's go. Build this team up now.
You cannot screw this up. We're going to stick to an old, tried-and-true philosophy. We're just going to take the best player available at every situation. We're going to build up the team, and we're going to be ready to go. So with the first overall pick, I'm going to get a pass rusher because that is a blue-chip position. How about Myles Garrett from Texas A&M? Someone who can hunt the quarterback. You talk about those quarterbacks in the AFC North, those big guys that we got to take to the ground. Myles Garrett playing under Greg Williams. We now have the opportunity to change the narrative of what the Cleveland Browns are.
Yeah, I love Myles Garrett with the first pick. And to me, you look at that 12th pick, their second first-rounder, Mooch, I'm going to go to another player in O.J. Howard, who I had in the latest mock draft from Alabama. A lot of times you have to sacrifice either the floor or the ceiling. I think both those players have very high ceilings, but also tremendously high floors. You can't miss on these players with these first 2 picks. Ozzie Newsome in Baltimore used to always say, I don't care if we get doubles. We can't strike out in the first round. I think these 2 players are more than doubles. The quarterback situation needs to be addressed, but I'll give you names like Russell Wilson, Derek Carr, Kirk Cousins, Dak Prescott. Not a lot of risk and a whole lot of reward.
Speaking of doubles and people who understand striking out, there's a guy there, Paul DePodesta, who figures out a little bit a clever way to get them a lot of this value from last season and kind of going into this season. So to me, I would ask Hugh Jackson to say, who do you like from the quarterback? Which free agents do you really like? And let's make this happen with all of this equity we have. 5 picks, 65 of the first 65. You have to be able to make something happen in free agency, too, because you can be creative with the trades. With that 12th pick, you could trade down and trade, you can be very creative with that, with all of the equity you have there to get the right blend of people that Hugh thinks can win now and also set yourself up for the future as well.
Yeah, I think Hugh's a heck of a coach, okay? He was my offensive coordinator at Cal. And did a heck of a job, and he gets offense, okay, and he understands how to grow a quarterback. He needs a quarterback. Yeah. I'm just telling. First player,
Which one?
Best player available, yes, with all those picks. But I think
which quarterback would you go after?
The first thing you do is use that set. You got a bunch of cash, you're going to use it. What are you saving it for? Use some of the cash to go find a free agent quarterback. I don't know if that's a Jimmy Garoppolo. You might have to overpay for him in terms of draft choices, right? Whatever that is. I don't know if A.J. McCarron is going to be able to come. I know Hugh likes the guy. He coached him over there. But does a divisional opponent make that kind of a trade? I doubt it. I don't know. The Kirk Cousins thing or the Romo thing, those are far-fetched. But you got to exhaust everything that you could possibly do before this draft with all of that money you're sitting on to see if you can get that one piece. Then I still think you go in the middle rounds and get another rookie quarterback. Have 2 guys.
Which one would you pick? You only get 1 quarterback. Which one would you pick?
One quarterback?
If you're Hugh, who do you pick?
I haven't evaluated these guys enough yet because
he's not taking that. Don't do it. Don't do it yet.
I'm not going to do it yet because if I get a free agent guy, I'm not going to do one in the first round. I'm going to do one 3rd or 4th.
Here's the problem, though. Last year you had a chance to get that prototype passer in Carson Wentz. You traded out of there.
Yep.
This football team, when you look at it, is a long way away. So you passed on one last year. This is that in-between year for me in this draft. Next year's group of quarterbacks, I've looked at them. There's some big-time guys that could be available next year. So if you reach for a quarterback this year, you're going to cost yourself a great player that you've passed over. I mentioned the 2 earlier. And now you might be out of the quarterback market next year when the players are better. That to me, doesn't make sense. So
this makes Paul DePodesta's job a little bit easier because it seems like the coaching perspective and the scouting perspective say, if we want a quarterback this year, free agency is our best bet for a winner this year.
I still say you got to do both this year.
Well, I think the big thing in free agency, what you're hoping is that you get a guy that you can plug and play right now. If you're a team like the Cleveland Browns that has been struggling, what you would like to do is if you can find the free agent quarterback, now you can find those playmakers in the draft. Some of those young guys that we need those marquee positions to take care of. You talk about O.J. Howard. They need more offensive weapons. Yep. Whatever happens with Terrell Pryor, that's fine. You took Corey Coleman last year and a bunch of other young receivers. But at some point, you have to have some pillars on that offense to allow any quarterback to thrive. And then on defense, if you're going to win in the AFC North, you have to be a rough and rugged team. I need to make sure that that defense is going. I need the dog pound to be the dog pound again because the defense is playing well. Pass rushers, corners, linebackers, guys that can hit, run, and cover.
Well, you guys talked about the number of picks, right? I might take some of these picks, and I might be spinning them off for picks